Welcome back from the break. In case you just tuned in, you tuned in at the right time because you are watching No Reservations with myself, Aisha Alam Khan. And boy, do I have a sizzler tonight. This is someone whose company I generally enjoy. He's great fun. He's fantastic to work with and extremely talented. We're going to get to know him a little bit better. My guest tonight has been accused of being a jack of all trades, master of none. How does he respond to that? We're going to find out, but that's going to happen right now because I have Mr. Asfar Ali with me in the house.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us.
A pleasure.
Jack of trades, master of none. How do you respond to this allegation? And is it an allegation? Do you think people are just jealous because you can do so much?
No, actually, no. If you look at it from my point of view, I was just basically trying my luck at everything as it came along, you know. But I had never lost focus of direction because that's what I wanted to do majorly. But I knew I had some years and I could utilize those years in doing various aspects and various things within the industry. And the industry is like has a dearth of, you know, people in every field. So I thought I could just shift from one part of media to the other successfully. Yeah.
If you're an actor, you kind of know what you want from a director, therefore you can
They're part of the same tree, you know,
yes.
So you kind of keep hopping. But the thing was that what I did not realize was, there's also lack of experience, that you have to keep doing something for a long period of time so that people start seeing you like that.
Yes,
you know?
and your credibility gets built up.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. So I didn't do that, and instead what I was looking at was challenges that I put forward to myself, and I said, okay, if I can do this, then I'm there. If I can do this, then I'm there. So as soon as I thought I could do it, I quit. And that was that mistake I made. At the same time, it taught me a lot.
I would say, I mean, Asfar certainly is a very able young man. And the way I would see it also, I mean, don't pretend to be modest because you are not a modest person.
I'm not, no, not at all, no.
The benchmarks that you set for yourself, do you think you set high benchmarks for yourself?
I think a good benchmark is to do something so unique that
Yes.
nobody else can copy it.
I feel, I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I think Pakistan, in general, as Pakistanis, we don't give credit to our own, and certainly, I mean, especially to our television artists or people who've actually done work in any field, really. You have had such an impact. You, Mani, your show, Subset Hai, you guys have such a cultural impact because no one has sort of come up with a show like that, for example, on television at that time. Do you feel that you have gotten that acknowledgement, or is there an anger there that, you know, because you, as a director, you pour your heart and soul into work?
I don't think I've gotten that acknowledgement, but at the same time, I think I have.
Okay.
In terms of, I'll tell you how I see it. I always thought that if you do something original, something unique, something different, people at some point will acknowledge it. When I joined a network, which is a news channel, and of course they have a whole bunch of channels, when I joined them, I think they respected me tremendously. They understood what I was doing, what I had done. My technique was in a strange way researched upon, and things that I did, the impact it had on the industry. So when
well, you had a very strong communication skill. You knew how to communicate with your audience no matter what you were doing, whether it was radio, talk show, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I still do. And I think that is the thing is that I at one point started saying this out and loud, even though maybe I shouldn't have, that I know exactly what the youth wants to hear. The minute you start saying that, people start thinking, oh God, he's thinks so much of himself. But that was the truth.
Well, let me ask you this on that note. But not necessarily does that make what the youth wants to hear right. Now, at this point in life, you know, through all your experience and through everything else, do you feel perhaps although I know your intention, because I know you're a very patriotic person, I know you only want the best, do you feel perhaps the execution of it was perhaps a little bit inappropriate, shall we say, or would you do it all over again? Would you do it differently?
Define inappropriate.
Well, for example, people will either hate you or they love you. They will say, "Bahut badtameez hain," or they will say, "No, they're fantastic." Okay. It just depends which way you're coming from.
I've always defended this point because I think there's a reason behind this. Youth all over the world speaks one language. It's not a language that is developed in Pakistan only. You know, the word yar is replaced with the word man.
Sure.
Or in England as, you know, geezer or whatever.
Right.
So the thing is that youth operates in a certain way. They have a certain mindset and they develop their own language, their own culture, their own style.
And you have to hone in on that.
And exactly. And the minute you start communicating in that one universal language, no matter where you do it, whether it's Russia or China, they will come and get attracted towards you because that's the magnet.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So that language is the magnet. So if people don't understand that.
All right. I don't know, a lot of people may or may not know this. Now, Asfar comes from a very very creative background. Both your parents were very creative. Your mum actually was my art teacher in school. I don't think she was very impressed with my art, but that's another story for another day. Your father as well was a painter.
That's true.
But you grew up in a single-parent household.
True.
Now, studies say, and I'm going to ask you if this is true or not, that someone who's any boy from the age of 13 to 18 needs the strong presence of a man to kind of teach him the ways of the world, etc., etc. You, I don't think, had that. Was it difficult growing up? I mean, what
disastrous.
was it like?
Yeah, it had an impact on me. But the thing is, I did not realize it's having an impact on me while I was going through the transition or the metamorphosis or whatever you call it. When I was going through that stage in my life, I thought it was the best thing ever because I had nobody to. I wasn't answerable to anyone.
You were not accountable to anyone.
Exactly, and I was my own dad. So that was perfect for me,
Yes.
It hit me recently, about let's say 3 years back, that I realized, oh damn, if I had a father who taught me this, then I wouldn't make these mistakes, So yeah, I mean, in a way, it's afterthought and a sad one, but then because I'm mature.
Does that upset you now as an adult?
It doesn't upset me in my head because I'm more mature now, so I can kind of fix my faults quicker.
Oh, this is an us for a moment. I need to kind of like back off of this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So and I think a lot of my, I would say, my overconfidence at one point in my life was because of this. That I did not have somebody to tell me better, or somebody who was bigger than me to look at.
Beta sudhar jao.
Danda nahi tha na. So and I also believe that the Pakistani mindset is used to a danda. And I think that works slightly better for us.
Okay.
Not to say that's the best way,
yes.
but I'm saying that's one of the ways that I've noticed that people function better in this country.
Okay. Now you're a father yourself.
Yeah.
And you're the father to a daughter.
True that.
And given your history, they say जितने बदमाश आदमी होते हैं उन्हीं को बेटियां मिलनी चाहिए हाँ ताकि so now that your daughter's growing up how are you feeling like oh my gosh are you a paranoid freak or
I believe that the strongest thing in your life, or the most, you're lucky because you're a human being, because you have a brain.
Okay.
I believe in the brain more than in the emotion or in the fate, as they call it, or luck or whatever. My idea is to inculcate as much common sense and knowledge into this little child,
right,
from a very early age, that she knows exactly what is right and what is wrong. Now, if she has to know that she's making a choice, because I think as a human being, the only thing that God has allowed you to have is your will, is that element of choice.
Absolutely, free
everything else is up to Him. So if she exercises the choices right, that then comes from me or from my wife.
Speaking of your wife, I think it's time we meet her.
Yeah,
who is this fantastic, charismatic woman, and the woman who has actually anchored Mr. Asfar like you wouldn't believe. She is coming up next, and that is happening after the break. Please stay with us. You're watching No Reservations with myself, Aisha Alam Khan.